guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are in this special new location because guess what? I have something kind of special right here next to me. This is it. This is a 2024 AMG GLA 35. But before we get into this pint-sized hot hatch of a Mercedes, let's talk about what's going on here. Mercedes-Benz, we know them for decades when it comes to that iconic German luxury style. And then when you think AMG, when you hear AMG, when you see AMG, you think performance. Now what's interesting is that AMG used to be separate from Mercedes-Benz, but AMG had a knack for taking Mercedes-Benz vehicles and adding that extra performance and getting the business done on racetracks around the world. Now, when you hear AMG, it is officially part of the Mercedes-Benz brand. And this is not just a badge and a decal set. This has true AMG tuning and performance. Now, when it comes to smaller size luxury performance crossover SUVs, there's really not a lot. Maybe you get your BMW X1, maybe you get an Audi SQ3. What I want to find out is if you're looking for the best, is this GLA 35 the way to go? Let's go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, the color. Normally I'm a big silver guy on Mercedes products, but this digital white, that's the name of it. Digital white has a nice pop, but it's not an overly bright white. Now at the front of the business, I do like the direction that Mercedes-Benz has taken their lighting. And of course you're gonna get full multi-beam LED lighting, especially with your daytime running lamps and turn signals. Working your way down, this has the aero package. So you're gonna see the addition of these canards or dive planes on the side of the nose, and then this larger splitter area. Now, this corner section is functional. It is a corner air curtain. I just don't like the way they try to make it look a little bit like a grill. I wish they could have put some lighting in here, maybe some fog lamps, or just make it a little bit more functional. But the good news is you do have that functional side air curtain. Now, with the aero package, you get this beefy splitter and those canards, and wait until we get out back because there's some pretty beefy aero pieces. And this is the stuff like I was talking about. They developed it on racetracks and they bring it even to crossover SUVs. Now, as we come across that AMG specific grille, I love the vertical, kind of a little bit of aluminum style finish to those slots. Of course, we're gonna have the AMG badging. And then right above the silver aero, we have that forward facing camera. Nice to have that technology with the silver aero. So much history with that brand, especially in Grand Prix racing. When you think about pre-war Grand Prix days, or of course with Lewis Hamilton, but now Lewis Hamilton next racing season is going to be racing for Ferrari, so that's going to be interesting. But working your way down, simple flat black, I'm okay with that. I like the way they brought a little bit more of the digital white, and then you have full functionality on this lower grille area. Nice large opening with that aggressive splitter, part of the additional aero package. Now as we rise up, smooth curve, look at the pearlescent sparkle in there, it's like a diamond. And then what I like to see is instead of having just another Mercedes badge, this is the official AMG badge. This lets you know that this is a real deal AMG vehicle. One of the many reasons. Obviously, when you go on throttle, that's when you're gonna get the biggest inclination that this is an AMG product. You do have your traditional double bulge, not as aggressive as like on an AMG GT, but it's nice to see the double bulge there. And then as we come around the bend, we have something large and in charge on this smaller crossover. You have these 21-inch optional forged AMG wheels. Multi-spoke design. I like the way it's got the center cap, covers up all the lug nuts. You got that ginormous 6-piston Brembo caliper with the AMG badging. And then of course the rotors are cross-drilled, and that's gonna help dissipate heat. So that's where we see performance in the braking. Nice large calipers, large rotors, lighter and stronger wheel. Forged aluminum is lighter and stronger than just cast. And then of course, we have that special adaptive suspension that's been tuned all four corners for this vehicle. We have the Continental Sport Contact 6 tires. That's gonna give you some extra grip and stick. And I am very happy that everything is painted around the fender opening. Now, one of the things I just want to point out, I'm curious if Steven can show it, is you actually have screws holding down the canard. So these aren't just stuck on with bubble gum or double-sided tape. That's an actual real piece of aero, and they bolted it to the vehicle to make sure that it stays there and gives you that extra downforce at the front of the vehicle. Now, as we kind of rise up, this is, of course, turbocharged. I'm gonna have Steven kind of swing around, show you the turbocharged badge. 4MATIC, what does that mean? It means this has all-wheel drive. From the side, it almost looks like a hot hatch. It almost looks like something of a Volkswagen Golf GTI or Golf R that's been lifted a little bit. So kind of cool dimensions. We do have a full panoramic sunroof. I wish that they blacked out the whole roof. That's one of the things that I wish that they have done, but it is nice to have the panoramic glass roof, but I am gonna zonk this white area in the back. Another thing I don't understand is why are we bringing shiny chrome on an AMG product? Where's my dark chrome finish? Hell, I'll even take black at this point. And then you do get a little bit of flat black and a little bit of gloss along the bottom there. Working our way towards the rear. Out back, 255 on the width of the tires. You can still see our beefy brakes and those 21-inch wheels. And then swinging it around, this is where things get good. Extra aero from our functional rear wing. Love the way it's gonna give you that downforce. It's got the end plates, the whole complete finished thing. You can see how it's a semi-pedestal in the center, and then look at the way they actually attach it to the corners there. That's gonna give you some nice downforce. We got, of course, our GLA 35 badging. Would have been nice to just have this in black. Full LED lighting. And then from the back, yes, there's a wiper here. There's nowhere to really put it. I would like to see this just be a little bit longer to get rid of that. Let me know how you feel about that rear wiper. But of course, we have the AMG badge, looking good. And then the one thing I wish that this didn't have, this is actually an option, is this shiny chrome piece to protect the bumper. I think that would just clean it up just to take that off. I wouldn't even option that. But to finish it off, we have one outlet on each side, functional exhaust, gloss black, nice kind of oval opening with a slash cut. And then look at this rear diffuser, part of the aero package. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, how much is this aero package? The aero package itself is $1,500. But we'll get more into the pricing once we get to the interior, but I'm definitely liking it from the back. Very sporty, very unique. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what the heck is powering this AMG. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a nice, large hydraulic hood strut. Underneath the hood, you do have the AMG badging, but the zonk in all of this is that this is not a hand-built AMG engine. But I do like the engine cover, and it does have a turbocharger to give us extra performance. So what do we have? It's a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 302 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds flat. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. The vehicle weighs 3,653 pounds, top speed 155 miles an hour, MPGs 22 in the city, 28 on the highway. And what's great is like I said, you have that ride control sport suspension. Now, if you were saying to yourself, well, Joe, I don't want this one. I want that 2-liter that puts out more than 400 horsepower. Well, here's the bad news. Mercedes AMG doesn't offer that vehicle anymore for the 2024 model year. So this is now the top dog for the AMG GLA family. But why don't we go ahead, we have it, let's fire it up and see it go. All right, guys, we are inside this digital white 2024 AMG GLA 53. Like I said, this is a real deal AMG vehicle. It has the work that's been tuned by AMG to make this thing perform. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I don't want some kiddie hatchback. I want something that has luxury. I like having performance, but I also need some room. How much is this AMG? Very good question. And don't worry about being a kid, man. It sucks growing up. It sucks being an adult. But if you want to go the AMG route, the GLA 35 AMG route, this one with options has an MSRP right around $72,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panel. I do love what Mercedes is dropping here. You have that white contrast stitching up top, very nicely done. Then you have real aluminum finish. There's your Mercedes seat controls, 3 memory seat settings, heated seats, ventilated seats, and there is ambient lighting there. Then this one has the optional 2-tone package with the bright fire engine red leather style material, some aluminum on the door handle pull, and then the door pocket is a good enough size to easily get 3 Arby's beef and cheddars and one of their new fish sandwiches in there and a vanilla shake to wash it down. We have the Fender premium audio sound system, and then going from the door panel to the dash, what do we have going on? Aluminum finish, the stitching is great. Love the way it's got all of the ambient lighting, and the aluminum just really pops. Soft touch material. And then, of course, you have your usual Mercedes setup with your 2 screens. No hood. I got to tell her to shut up. She won't stop talking to me, the vehicle, that is. 2 10.25-inch screens. So 10.25 here, 10.25 here. I like the way it's got a little bit of a GLA little icon there as your vehicle on the maps. The one I want to show you, which once you get the hang of it, it's very intuitive. The one I really want to show you is that you actually have an off-road option here. But the big one for me is the AMG Performance. So you can bring up your vehicle information. Right now we're in Sport Plus. You can go into your engine data, really cool graphics, extra gauges, even a stopwatch with an analog clock. That to me is just showing the intentions. It's got the nice touches. You also have the ability to shut everything on and off. And that's one of the zonks that I actually have, is that there's not as many buttons in here as there used to be. You even have, go into your seat, massage seat settings in here, which you're not going to get that on many vehicles. So very, very cool to have that. And here's your off-road if you want to see what that is all about. Look at the off-road gauges. Really, really neat. The colors and the graphics. Throw it into reverse. Super clear resolution with trajectory. And then, of course, you could change the angles. You got your 360-degree camera. Column shifter for that automatic transmission. A lot of cars going back to column shift. Start-stop button. And then what's really smart is you just hit that pesky auto start-start feature right underneath it. You got your aeronautical style AC vents. Nice real deal controls for your AC controls. Down below we have wireless charging. You do have a USB-C, and there's a 12 volt. You're probably going to want to get a radar detector. 2 cup holders. My one zonk is there's no lids. They got rid of the lid. Now you do have a dynamic mode button, but to do the manual shift with the paddles, there used to be a button here and it's gone. Now you got to do it in the infotainment system screen. You got a place for some Jolly Ranchers, watermelon, maybe cinnamon, apple, sour apple, of course. And then bombs away. We open this up to USB-Cs, and you could put, I would say, 4 Game Boys in there and probably about 10 Game Boy games. Maybe Excite Bike, Tetris, Castlevania. Those are some of my favorites. I miss those days. The seats, these are optional, and they're all about performance. Love the one-piece back, the AMG, the 2-tone. Look at the bolstering here, like a freaking race car. They're full power assist for the passenger, full power assist for the driver, and we're not done yet. That panoramic sunroof. Vitamin D for the people up front and vitamin D for the people in the back. But why don't you get your butt over here? I was gonna say something else. But why don't you get your butt over here? I got a flat bottom steering wheel that looks like it's right out of a freaking Formula One race car. Coming over, I wanna show you. All right guys, business time, like I said, 3 memory seat settings. I love the way it's got the aluminum sill plate. The AMG lights up LED at night. Pedal box is nice. Aluminum brake pedal, throttle. I just wish they would give me an aluminum dead pedal. This carpet just, I don't know, just looks out of place. So I'm gonna zonk it. Seats, I'm telling you right now, because they take the controls off the side and put them on the door, they're still wide enough to be comfy, but these performance seats have some nice bolstering, and of course you could adjust all that. I'm 6 feet tall, still plenty of room even with the panoramic sunroof, and then like I said, a steering wheel right out of a Formula One car. Nice thickness, 2 different types of leather, flat bottom with the AMG badge with some silver, and then look at the way we have the TFT display screens. I could actually change my modes right by twisting the knob. I could shut off traction control, make my suspension adjustments. I'm not in love with the way they did this design or the horn button. The horn button looks like they took a Nerf ball and put a Mercedes-Benz logo on it. I would like some stitching or something, or make it out of leather. But I do like the real deal metal paddles behind the wheel, and this is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel, and then you have your 10.25 inch digital display, which of course has a cornucopia of information. You can see the tag, it's giving me all these warnings saying the door's open, the car doesn't know what you want, all this other stuff. I love technology. And here's where you could actually switch through different screens. So let's go sport. Boom, look at that. I'm ready to rock and roll. That's how I'm doing it. That's how we're gonna drive. Love the way you could change the graphics very easily. But why don't we get into the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna like riding along with you as you're going down the twisty bits in this AMG. All right guys, backseat time, and what's impressive is the way they designed the GLA, any GLA, especially this AMG GLA, plenty of freaking headroom in here. I actually feel like I have more room back here than I did up front. Now the backs of the seats, because they're all about performance, there's no pockets or anything like that, so if you have your Bavarian German cream donut that you had FedExed over from Germany to eat, you're gonna have to keep it in between your legs because there's no place to put it in a pocket. And be careful, because you don't want to bust cream all over this beautiful interior by squeezing your legs together. I do like the way you actually get AC vents, a little tiny tray for some Tootsie Rolls, and then open this bad boy. We got 2 USB-Cs, and you could put about 3 atomic fireballs in there. Close it up. Like I said, the room is plentiful in here. The one thing that's bizarre is technically there's no armrest, center armrest. This is what you get. You ready? You could fold this down, but you have to put it on this hard carpet. Who the hell wants to do that? Not me. So my advice is just keep it up. Keep it up, keep going, and don't give up. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the cargo area and see how many hopes and dreams we could fit back there in this GLA. All right guys, cargo area time. You just hit the button right underneath the silver arrow. And then of course, there is your cargo space. And that's one of the nice things with this vehicle is that you're gonna get some usable cargo in a performance spec vehicle. You're looking at 15.4 cubic feet of space with the seats up, 50.4 cubic feet of space with the seats down. You do have your cargo net, so you can put your cantaloupes, your watermelons. You don't want those, your melons rolling around and maybe rolling out the back and rolling down the street. You do have a nice little, this is where you can put like 5 track day Twinkies in that little cargo net area. And to put the seats down, it's really not too hard. You just gotta have to reach up and over. And I'll put one down for you just to kind of show it. There it is with the seat down, kind of gives you that idea. But like I said, up to 50.4 cubic feet of space. I don't care about the seats. What I care about, of course, is the on-throttle experience. So if you're ready, I'm ready. We got an AMG. We got a big wing. Let's go on throttle and see how this thing does. All right, guys, we are in this AMG GLA 35. I have it in full Sport Plus mode. Everything is in dynamic mode, and I'm gonna use the paddles to shift. If you're ready, I'm ready. We got race control. On throttle, here we go, yeah. Nice. Getting that traction right off the line. And this transmission shifts very, very quickly, very smoothly, and I'm actually quite impressed with it. Large paddles. Here we go. I tell you, it's one of those cars you just don't think it's gonna put a smile on your face, but it really, really does. But let's talk about what's going on here. One of the things I got a zonk, and I wish there was a way to just rip out the system or something, is the piped in noise through the speakers. I'm sure you heard what the exhaust sounds like when we did the revs. Why can't we just have that be heard? Why does it need to be this really strong fake noise? So that to me is not my favorite. Another thing is on the dash, tons of information, especially when you have it in the sport dash. The challenge for me is the gear indicator is very, very small and down to the right. It would be nice to have that smack dab in the center. Such an important piece of information. What gear am I in? Maybe a head-up display, which this does not have, would rectify all of that. So let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. But one of the things, well, a couple of things that are superb in here are, of course, all the fit and finish materials. Rock solid, no creaks, no rattles. I love the way you're getting the heated seats, the ventilated seats, the massage seats, but yet I have this bolstering that really holds me in place, but it's also comfy. So don't think that it's gonna squeeze you like a vice grip or like a grape. It's not gonna squeeze you like a grape and then make grape juice out of you. But visibility out the windshield is nice. I would like a little bit better dampening when it comes to the suspension, especially body roll. It's like there's the roll, but then she sets fine. I would like to see less roll. And the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system from the start with that race start launch control through the twisty bits has good grip. So I'm very happy to see that. It's just the sound is a little on the sad side. But having that usability for your backseat passengers, they have nice, comfortable seats that are supportive to hold them into place. And the steering, I think my favorite part of driving this vehicle is not only the steering wheel itself, it's a damn good looking steering wheel, and a steering wheel I love to rub my hands all over, but the feedback I'm getting from the front of the car to the steering wheel is really, really good. And also the feedback that I'm getting from the back of the car to my seat is really, really good. There's some nice pops, some bangs, things like that going on while you're driving at speed. But once again, we need to go through the twisty bits because I think that's really the big surpriser with this vehicle and how it's so close to a hot hatch style vehicle. You ready? We're gonna do the race start again, real simple. Hold down the brake with your left foot, hold down the throttle, release, we're gone, yeah! Nice. Here we go. A little bit of decreasing radius here. I would just prefer a little less body roll, but she took that last corner flat out. Brakes are phenomenal. So the brakes really give good feedback. I'm able to trail off the brake very comfortably. Nice. My thing that I'm finding is there's a couple parts back there where I wanted to downshift an extra gear and the car wouldn't let me. For whatever reason, the programming in the ECU, it would not let me downshift properly. So that's one thing that I'm definitely gonna zonk when it comes to the overall driving of this vehicle. I think the other thing I really like is when you use the race start, you don't have to worry about hitting second gear if you're using the paddles to manually shift. It'll actually shift right at the prime spot into second, so you could stay focused on the task at hand. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Race start. Release, yeah! That's worth the price of admission right there. See, right there, I would have liked an extra downshift. I tried to downshift and it wouldn't let me. But here's where the feedback in the wheel feels good. Oh yeah. Body roll though, it's getting a little jelly filled right about now. But you know what? It's one of those vehicles that brings the Mercedes luxury, the Mercedes style, the technology, of course, and it allows you to enjoy the art of driving a little bit more. It's a damn shame that they took away the more powerful version of this vehicle, because obviously that's something I feel like just a little bit more horsepower, a little bit more freedom when it comes to upshifting and downshifting would really seal the deal a little bit better. I think if you were looking for a vehicle that you needed versatility and you want all-wheel drive and you want performance, Golf R is probably going to be the way to go. And you're going to save yourself around $20,000, which is quite a bit of money. But the good news is that when you're doing your quote-unquote normal driving, you got all the amenities. It feels really good in here. And like I said, once you get into the seat, the seats are comfy and they hold you into place. So that's a big plus. All right, guys, one more time for you. Definitely one more time for me. We're gonna keep using the paddles because for me, it's very engaging. It's as engaging as you can get in this vehicle. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Race start once again. On throttle, yeah! Nice. I could really feel the aero taking effect, especially at higher speed. Yeah. Little bit of the back coming out just a little bit. Let me square off the corner. Nice and planted. That is probably one of the keys to this, is that it is definitely planted, just with like a little less roll, at least in Sport Plus mode. But we're gonna get back. We need to wrap this thing up and put this baby to bed. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get to it. I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day. Of course, it can't be that bad of a day when you're driving some twisty bits. I definitely want to thank everybody at Mercedes-Benz and AMG for getting us access to this GLA 35. Let me know what you think. Does this have enough performance? Does it have enough luxury for that price point? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up. Stephen Flood Photography. He's making moves, literally. He's now in a new area, new page in his life, and he's ready to rock and roll. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.